What's going on, everybody? It's been a little bit, so as some people know, I've been putting the car back together. It went down on me, spun a rod bearing. Really think I tried to put too much power to it for the bearing clearances I had. On top of I had a distributor issue, which probably got in the detonation. So car is fully rebuilt, upgraded to some Manly Turbo Tough rods. We've opened up, added some extra clearances on the bearings for the rods. The motor has got a fresh hone done to it, all new rings put in it, new bearings all throughout the motor. Motor's built to handle some power. So today, this is more of a tune-up on the dyno. All I'm going to do is go in, make sure the air fuels are smooth, clean, kind of get an idea of when you do a new rings on the car, naturally you're going to have better compression, which the motor does. And I just want to make sure I don't go lean. So dyno's a good safe way of doing it. And then I'll probably go ahead and try to do a full power pass at the end, see what boost it does make and what kind of power it actually does make at those boost levels. That way I go to the track, I've got some data so I can say, hey, this is how much power I'm going to run in each gear. So either way, I'm going to get this thing loaded up on the dyno. And today I'm actually at Jesse's garage, which is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So if anybody needs some dyno tuning done, he is very good at it. He definitely specializes in V8s. But he also, like I say, he's got an in-ground chassis dyno, or a rolling dyno jet, but he also has a hub dyno. Those things are extremely expensive. You don't see them everywhere, and they're made for your high horsepower cars. You're gonna pay a little bit to get on that thing, but they are phenomenal. And he did make the investments so people could have one locally. So anyway, let's get this car on the rollers and see what we can do. Okay, this run we're going to be going 55% duty cycle, which should give me around 18 pounds of boost. Could be up or down a little bit, depends on, it's been a while since I've set these numbers. So we'll see what kind of power it does at that power. See what kind of power it does at that duty cycle. Okay, that's a nice increase. It was like 390 horsepower at 10 pounds of boost, and that should have been around 18 pounds. It could have been a little more, but 530 something. So nice increase, up to 500 something horsepower. And gonna find out what it was. I'll let you know in this next clip and keep turning it up. Alright, this time we're going up to 65% duty cycle, which should give us around 27, 28 pounds of boost. Tune looks good. I can see we're being a fresher motor, needing just a little bit of fuel, so I was able to add just a hair bit of fuel, and that took care of that part. So tune should be good. So gonna send it on out and see what happens. to 65% duty. And let's see what kind of power it made at 65% duty and what boost level that was. Okay. Made no more power, like 15 more horsepower, which means the boost must have not been no higher. Okay, that last run, because I'm a moron, I forgot to change my duty cycle. It was still at 55% instead of 65%. So the extra power made, probably because Ryan added a little extra ice into the ice box. So it made 546 at 21 pounds of boost. And well, we'll let the car cool down for a second and send it again. Okay, this time we're gonna go to 65% duty cycle. So I've got it corrected, should be all right. Good oil pressure, we're still good. Let's see what that number was. It definitely felt a little stronger. 600 on the dot, 60000. So that's on the right path. Okay, that the last pull was 26 pounds. It actually was like 25.5 pounds. Peaked at 26 at the end, and was 600 even. So most of the time this car don't make over 600 until it gets around 27 to 29 pounds of boost. So I'm actually happy where it's going, and motor seems to be fresh, and of course I'm taking this thing on up about 33 to 35 pounds, so we got some room to play there. So alright, keep going. This time we're taking it up to a 75% duty cycle. Last time was pretty much 26 psi on the dot, and we'll keep going up in this one. Still have oil pressure, so 659. All right, right at just under 420 pounds of torque.
29.7 pound on this thing.
Well, that's well above what it usually does at that. That's awesome. Okay, the last pull is right at 29 pounds of boost. 659.76, basically 660 on that one. I'll take it on up to about 85% on the duty cycle. I'll get boost cut set at 34 pounds of boost. We are limited with spring, which means I'm gonna probably get only 30 to 32 pounds of boost. So, you know, end goal was to try to peak over 700 horsepower today with spring, keep it safe, and then working in on the track and turn it up later. Okay, so far, we just got it up to about, that was between 28 and 29 pounds of boost. It peaked at 29, 659 horsepower. And today it's been very humid. It's you know, right at 60% humidity, and it was 101 to 103 with the heat index today, like 95 degrees, so it's a hot day. Alright, that last time, that was 85% duty cycle on the solenoid on the wastegate. Unfortunately, I've only got a 10-pound spring in it, like a 9-pound. So it peaked out at 31 pounds and kind of started tailing off down. Pick up about another 30 horsepower, so it was right at 690 horsepower. I am going to throw a little bit more at it. It probably won't do much. It may spike up. I just want to see it hit 700. I know the car's going to do 700. But the problem I'm having right now where I'm maxed out on the spring is the boost is coming up and it's falling. And when it falls, as the RPMs go up, it's where you're supposed to be building the power. So I'm not getting the boost at the higher RPMs, which is where you would want, where it normally is going to make its power. So I'm losing quite a bit. So it's having to make its peak power with less boost or at a lower RPM. So I'm going to pretty much close this thing out, just throw 100% duty cycle at it and see what happens. This time I'm going to throw everything at the boost solenoid I can. It's only going to make so much because the spring rate, but at least if I can get it to peak, I need 11 horsepower to see over 700. It's more of a novelty for me at this point. It's probably going to make a little more boost on the track because of the load, which means it'll make a little more power on the track. The dyno is purely a tuning thing, but it's a mental thing to see that number for 700, and that's what I want to see. So let's see what happens. All right, here we go. This is all she's got, at least with this wastegate spring. Moment of truth, moment of truth. See what happens here. Hit the green button. Nah, it just dropped. It actually dropped. Went up to 95% on the wastegate solenoid. It didn't like that, so it's okay. 690 horsepower is plenty on the track. Or 687 actually. But like I say, the car's going to load up more on the track. It's going to make more boost on the track, which means it's going to make more power on the track. But next time I come out, we'll have different wastegate springs in it and have a little more tunability on the car to go up, you know, higher boost. But at least this time, at this point, it'll keep me safe and it'll keep me from being an idiot, which, you know, we're all wanting to turn things up more, and I sure will. Well, guys, go on, you know, have a good time. I hope you enjoyed watching me be an idiot on this dyno. I have no clue what I'm doing, but at least I'm making power. So until next time, happy racing.